Please welcome our next presenters as they talk about what's in the pipeline.
Well, aloha and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leslie Wilkins with Maui Economic Development Board. It's wonderful to have you here, and I'm delighted to have with me on the stage two very impressive young professionals who are truly transforming the education and workforce pipeline. To my immediate right is my colleague, Katie Taladay, who is MEDB's Director of Education to Workforce. She manages our statewide STEMWorks program and is an author of our STEMWorks Energy. And to her right, to your left, is a good friend of mine that I've had the pleasure of working with for many years, and that's Dr. Joshua Kaakua. He currently helped lead the amazing UH victory to get the Good Jobs Challenge and that wonderful grant that's coming to our community to invest in our workforce. And he is currently with the UH Community College system and serves as a program officer there. I know him when he was working at the College of Engineering, working to bring more Native Hawaiian students into the College of Engineering, and I'm happy to say that your legacy persists because it is the #1 major of Native Hawaiian students, which is very fabulous since it's one of the #1 career needs in our state. So we're going to talk today about what's currently in the pipeline to help build our workforce for the clean energy transformation that we're under. And I'm asked all the time, what is an economic development organization doing investing so much of its resources and time into education and workforce development? My answer is very simple. Workforce development is economic development. You cannot decouple them. They are absolutely integral to each other. So for 23 years, MEDB has been working to build equity of access to make sure the STEM education pipeline, the clean energy education pipeline, is reflective of the beautiful demographics of our state, and there's equity of access for all. So we're going to give you a little pipeline. We're going to start with Katie, who's going to talk about our K through 12 educational efforts, and then we'll punt to Josh, who's going to talk about post-secondary training opportunities, particularly the way you as employers can get involved in the Good Job Challenge to build your own talent pool for your needs. So Katie, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. So I do have a few slides that I will share. Awesome. So my name is Katie Taladay. I am the Director of Education and Workforce Development for the Maui Economic Development Board. My background is in geology and geophysics, and I specialized in natural gas hydrates working for Hawaii Natural Energy Institute. So this project specifically, even though we do all things STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math for our program, the energy program is really my love. So I'm excited to talk about this one today. So we'll go ahead next. So what I want to show you and highlight here is our most recent energy education. Yep, thanks, Leslie. So I want to highlight the most recent efforts that we've had at MEDB STEMWorks for energy education. And this was under a grant for the Hawaii State Energy Office. We developed an all-new NGSS aligned, so that's a National Standards for Science curriculum for the Hawaii State Energy Office, all new modules, which we're highlighting here in this slide. So we have 6 modules that are addressing energy education from K through 12. And I was really surprised, I don't know if I should say surprised, but during the process of developing this curriculum and training teachers how to get this curriculum out into their classroom, I was really surprised by the lack of energy literacy in our state. And if we don't have energy literacy coming into the college level, then students aren't going to major in any energy-related degrees, and they may not seek any energy-related careers. So every single one of these modules are hands-on. They are including hands-on laboratory activities, at least 3 for each module, and we try to address every single energy topic from wind to solar to geothermal, electricity, electrical grids, smart grids, and every teacher that participated in this training received a kit. So they have a toolkit that they're then able to do the hands-on activities in their classroom. We trained almost 200 teachers, so about 180 teachers are now trained across the state, and they have access to the kits, and all of the energy curriculum we developed is now up live on the Hawaii State Energy Office website. So I want to go ahead to next slide. I forget I control it. So these kits now live in our STEMWorks lending library. So teachers who were trained received classroom toolkit. The other kits that we have remaining are in our STEMWorks lending library. That means if you are a K through 12 educator, you know a K through 12 educator, they can request to borrow these kits to teach renewable energy lessons and all energy topics in their classroom by going to our STEMWorks website and going to the STEMWorks lending library. This is just some fun pictures because I love seeing our kids in action, learning how to be scientists, learning how to do experiments, and learning about energy. So everything from our youngest K through second graders all the way up to our 11th and 12th graders do more sophisticated circuitry. And I want to share, not sure, I think my slide got cut off. Anyway, so it has been such a pleasure to be able to bring this curriculum into our classroom, and I want to share just a really quick story before I turn it over to Josh. I had an educator that told me in one of our trainings, I don't want to teach about wind energy because it competes with agricultural land. And I thought about that for a little while, and I'm like, how do I handle this topic in my training where we might have this conflict between values, conflicts about how we bring renewable energy into our communities. And I told the teacher, you know, maybe wind's not best for your community, but if your students don't learn about wind, they might not learn how wind is good for another community. And so we have to really think about making that energy literacy part of our curriculum, and that our students are literate in all energy topics, not just the ones that we think are best for our community. And that really resonated with the teacher, so I was very happy that she ended up teaching wind energy in her classroom. So those conversations with communities, with our teachers, with parents and students are very important. I also want to mention that at MEDB, we do run a summer internship program for our high school students. So if you are an employer that is looking to get more people into the workforce for energy, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you about how we can get high school students working for your companies. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to Josh.
Now you've heard about the K through 12 pipeline. How's secondary, Josh?
Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Katie. Aloha mai kākou. I'm Josh Kaakua. I'm with the University of Hawaii Community Colleges system, and I wanted to share with you a very exciting project that we have currently called Good Jobs Hawaii. And I have three things that I wanted to share. One is just give you an overview or a taste of what is this project. I heard about it a couple times, Good Jobs Hawaii, and I just wanted you to be aware of it. And the second thing is how to follow up. Like how can employers, how can community-based organizations or training providers, how can they get involved? And then third, I'd like to share about why this is important. Good Jobs Hawaii is it's called Good Jobs Challenge nationally, but we kind of rebranded it. And we're looking at, it's a partnership with training providers, the university, and employers. And all the stakeholders that are involved in making our region, building our region's workforce development. And it was funded, it was part of Biden's Build Back Better. They put out $3 billion with a B, and $500 million of that was for workforce development. And Hawaii was one of the regions selected. I think it was we got selected because it was we were the only statewide organization or recipient. And it was something that I think we could wrap our arms around. They challenged us to be very bold in addressing our most pressing challenges or our biggest opportunities. And for us, we focused on 4 areas: healthcare, which is a huge need area for our state, IT, technology, IT in particular, creative industries, in that we have goals to in film and TV and media as a destination, and of course, clean energy. We don't train at these are by strategy, these are the 4 we're going to focus on. And clean energy, I think we do have bold goals. And if we are going to get together where we want to be, the university and others, we get it. We want to meet the moment and provide that staffing and that talent pipeline that we need to be successful. So that's the kind of overarching idea. It's a $32 million project over the next 3 years. We'd like to train 3,000 participants, and the value proposition is no-cost training. Now, what kind of training? That's to be determined by the field. So in the past, the university, we used to just do the trainings that we thought were important, and we know that's no longer, that's unacceptable. We want to do run trainings or find the needs that is going to be valuable to the employers or the people in the field. So that's my invitation to you, is to, we're at the very beginnings for clean energy. We hope to launch a sector partnership in August, and the lead convener for this sector is Mark Glick and his team at the Hawaii State Energy Office. I want to recognize Maria Tomei, who I think is in the audience, and Cameron Black, and others with the Hawaii State Energy Office. They're really the lead convener who I think has the influence to, with our diverse stakeholders. If you guys can provide us with what are your pain points, what are the skills, what are the short-term trainings that would be beneficial to you, the university, or if we don't have it, we'll bring it in and provide it at no cost to the participant, no cost to the company. This also includes upskilling your existing employees. And then finally, why I think this is important, I actually heard it earlier today, and I was like, I'm not an energy guy, I'm more of an educator, but I just loved sitting in and hearing the keynotes and the panelists, and as they talked about kuleana, and how one speaker was saying as a mother, wow, I worked on this project. It took 10, 12 years, but my kids know about it. And the impact it makes. Like, I actually thought only educators talked that way. So I quite enjoyed being a fly on the wall at this conference and sharing that responsibility of building a thriving Hawaii. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. We think that this conference is a very important platform to bring education and industry together, to work together, to make sure that the educational pathways that we are building are absolutely going to drive the needs we have for innovation and the clean energy projects. We've heard over and over from all of you that a homegrown talent pool is not available to all your needs, so scaling that up is really important. But what you've heard from all the way from Keiki to post-secondary, that it does require your guidance and your involvement, and giving our young people the opportunity to have place-based learning, work-based learning, having mentors, and hearing from you to keep them in this pipeline or engage them in the first place. So that is our call to action as our time is ending. Whether it's opening your doors to high school students or opening your doors to people that may be changing careers or post-secondary or working with the university. I really, really hope that you will go back to your workplaces and figure out how you can integrate the next generation of your workforce into today's opportunities that you're working for. And so the other thing I want to let you know is we talk all the time, because you heard that this is part of the pandemic relief funding, is that this is probably a once in a generational lifetime to have this kind of funding to support education. So please, let's take advantage of it. And that means you open your doors, because we do know that our young people need to have paid workforce development experiences, paid internships. It is elitist to think that our students can just work or observe. They are just for the experience without some kind of financial compensation, because we know that that precludes so many of your young people who are required to have funding to support themselves or their families. So we are 14 seconds left. I think we've done a really good job of managing our time. Katie or Josh, any parting words?
No, thank you for having me. I do want to make a plug. goodjobshawaii.org.
Good. And STEMWorksHawaii.org, Katie?
STEMWorksHawaii.org as well.
There we go. There's our plug. Thank you. If you do have any questions, please put them in the app. We will try to respond by email to you, because we were the 15-minute talk before your next presentation, but we'd love to engage with you in Q&A. So please put them in the app and we'll look for them. Thank you.
Mahalo.